Hi, I'm Danny.
And I'm Si. Welcome to Business in a Brew, a podcast dedicated to all things business with the occasional cover.
We take a business story, theory, or something we just want to chat about and give it a dusting of our own special personality and sense of humour, combined with our experience and knowledge. We're both business graduates and have run our own businesses for many years. We can't wait for you to listen. Hiya.
Hello. You still got your Christmas jumper on, I see?
Yeah.
Oh, so have I.
It's very hot in here.
I know. These are good jumpers. We're talking about a company that you may never heard of today,
This makes it for a great story.
but one that probably touches your life every single day.
How exciting. I like it when my life is touched.
Right, so from the bread you eat to the chocolate you sneak at midnight.
Me? I don't eat chocolate.
Okay, oh, you don't. Oh, you do. Ah, yeah.
Sorry.
Chicken nuggets you pretend you bought for the kids.
I'm not even going to disabuse you of every notion here, but carry on.
There's a good chance that a company called Cargill has had something to do with it.
If you say
Right?
so.
Yeah. Cargill's one of the world's largest privately held corporations.
Okay.
Okay, privately held corporation.
Okay. Yeah. Underlined.
A global giant in agriculture and commodities.
Okay.
And I didn't go down the agriculture rabbit hole off the back of the Monsanto one. This is just a company I was curious about.
Fair enough.
And even though I'd seen it, and I'd seen trucks with the Cargill logo on, I kind of didn't. I think I saw one on a motorway and thought, oh, I don't know anything about them. I'll just research that. And
Well,
yeah.
I like to focus on driving.
Yeah, I didn't research whilst I was driving. Okay, you know that the bigger a company gets, the more complicated its story can become. Things
Yes.
in agency theory, an agency problem.
Yes.
Or the agency problem. And Cargill's a perfect example of that tension between the two sides. It's a story of how human ingenuity and the desire to feed the world can collide with greed, environmental destruction, and broken promises.
Another cheery one.
Yeah, another cheery one.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not. It's fair. It's fairly light, but it's
I'm glad
just
we're feeding the world, though.
the curiosity side of things. Yeah, because actually it is quite positive.
Okay.
Overall. So, there's a balance to this. I'm exploring really both sides of this pretty monumental, but largely invisible corporation. So, what is it? Start with the basics, Danny.
Thanks.
Cargill was founded in 1865 as a small grain storage business on the American frontier that grew into a multinational empire. It operates today in over 70 countries, has hundreds of thousands of people employed. But what do they do?
Don't know, Si. What do they do?
What exactly do they do, Si? A company that helps glue the entire food system, the global food system, together.
I feel like I'm reading their website. I'm still not really sure what they do.
Yeah, right. Okay, I'm coming to it.
All right.
All right.
All right.
You need some more sugar.
No. Shut up.
So they buy crops from farmers, they process them, trade them, ship them across the world, produce animal feed, cooking oil, sweeteners, chocolate, meat products. Their involvement in shipping, fertilizer, metals, and even financial commodities. So
That's quite the disparate range.
diversity, right, is right there. They're almost like the circulatory system of the food world, moving calories, protein, and ingredients through arteries of ships, trains, factories, etc. And they've helped modernise society, feeding billions of people. And it's not an exaggeration. And without large-scale aggregate businesses like these, the modern world simply could not exist. Yeah? Of course, you know me by now.
I do. We're not just saying something nice about someone.
Power comes with a cost, yeah? So, the good side, okay, feeding the world. We'll give them their due. Their massive logistics network keeps food prices stable. So imagine having that power.
Yep.
Yeah, you're not seeing massive fluctuations. We're seeing localized fluctuations. In fact, we're not seeing all just localized. We've got things like the breadbasket of Europe.
But we're not seeing massive fluctuations because of...
So at least a little more stable than they would be. They help move food from places with surplus to places in need. They've invested in agricultural development, farmer training, food safety across continents.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is brilliantly positive stuff. In regions hit by drought or conflict, their infrastructure can make a difference between food arriving or not arriving at all.
Mm-hmm.
And they've worked in partnership with, so people who have need but don't actually have the supply, third world nations, famines and emergencies. Cargill have worked in partnership with the United Nations. This is from their website. The United Nations World Food Programme and World Food Programme USA since 2001. Africa, Central, South America and Asia. They've got emergency relief, contributing 10,000 metric tons of rice in 2011 for the famine in the Horn of Africa. Humanitarian support for the WFP's operations in Ukraine, cash assistance and food assistance to tens of thousands of people. There's a lot of responsibility there.
Stuff.
Yeah, it is a lot of good stuff. And local community support with numerous local food banks and hunger relief organisations such as Feeding America in the US and Fair Share in the UK to provide food donations and support for community kitchens. And I've been involved in a community kitchen before, and I do believe that some of what they had actually had come via
genuinely
Cargill
has a benefit.
Fair Share. Genuinely has a benefit, yeah. So they donate food products like beef, turkey, chicken, eggs and edible oils to organisations for distribution to people in need. So you can imagine, people having, if you want a Christmas dinner will be provided largely by those kinds of donations. Maybe not largely, but as a percentage of. They support programs to improve long-term food security. We talked about food security in a recent podcast. Improve nutrition, sustainable agricultural practices with partners like Harvest Plus and Care. So there's a lot that they're doing. They've even pledged to eliminate deforestation in their supply chain, improve worker conditions and reduce emissions. And their story is one of being a crucial partner in feeding the world. And in so many ways, they are right.
Yes.
But.
Obviously.
Yeah. What do you mean, the but part?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't want this to be an advert for Cargill, how brilliant they are. Of course, you kind of.
Is it possible to run a large multinational corporation without some kind of.
Probably not. Some kind of downside.
Yeah.
No, I get that. But, we're trying to give some balance on this, don't we?
Yeah.
The story does shift. It's when you're a company big enough to feed the world, you're also big enough to harm it. Yeah?
Yeah.
And they've been at the centre of some of the most significant environmental criticisms of any major agribusiness. And they've been accused of, by environmental groups, of contributing towards deforestation in the Amazon and Cerrado. I think it's South America. Actually, I didn't look that further. Linked to soy and cattle supply chains. Mm-hmm. And we know what's happening there.
We do.
Destruction of natural habitats tied to palm oil production. And there is a list of animals that are under threat because of that
orangutans.
Kind of, I know. Yeah, that's just one.
Greg's Donuts.
But deforestation in West Africa, connected to cocoa farming, and pollution from industrial agriculture and feedlots. Effluent coming from cows' bottoms.
Thank you. I get that all of these things are disastrous on the world, but where's the not the Venn diagram, the tipping point, the intersection where to feed an entire world you have to do a certain amount of damage to it because we can't have both.
Well, that's when I said the tension, the tension part of it. Big enough to feed the world, but big enough to basically destroy it at the same time.
Yeah. So what's that thing? When is it the greater good?
Oh, do you know? I don't know where that intersection is.
When does the end justify the means?
But an organisation that size also has the systems to repair some of that. Yeah.
Yes, but
I'm still going through this.
I'm sorry. Yeah? I apologise.
Why don't you ask your question at the end?
Well, I don't.
No. I'm going to carry on.
Okay. Fine.
Human rights groups have pointed to labour abuses in parts of the global cocoa industry. Lawsuits have been filed, investigations launched, and NGOs have labelled the company one of the world's most destructive. Okay. But, of course, what they're doing when they create this supply chain, they create all of this processing, is they're buying up other companies who would want to doing that. And I think they're probably actually systemising and making them perhaps a little more efficient than perhaps they were, bringing them into their way of doing aegis, things, if you like. Cargill disputes many claims and in some cases have taken action to fix issues, but the controversies keep returning. And why is that? Because when a company gets this big and it becomes the heartbeat of the global food system, problem in its supply chain aren't tiny mistakes. No. That's where
And they're an easy target because they're so big.
Yes. But those problems in the supply chain become systemic. And there's the paradox. They're essential, but they're also potentially harmful. So there is a bigger story here than just one company. It's the embodiment of something human, which is a desire to solve problems, but a tendency to create new ones in the process is what arises.
We had this conversation before.
We did, exactly. You solve a problem, but you create another one. We wanted to feed the world. We wanted abundance, convenience, cheap calories, global trade, and Cargill delivered that brilliantly.
But to get those, you had to.
But as they grew, efficiency became optimization. Optimization became expansion. Something shifted, and solving the problem wasn't good enough anymore. Growth became the goal. Market dominance, profit, control. So it's not a Cargill-only phenomenon. It's a mirror up to the whole corporation thing. Yeah. Every system built faster than our ability to regulate it or understand its impact, where it's leading. Yep. Human innovation lifts us up, but human greed pulls us back down again. That's quite profound.
It is quite profound. I'm sorry. Do you want to clap?
Yeah. Thanks.
You're welcome.
And
could have let Dawny use the button to get the automated clap. Do you want to use the button? Go on then. That's a really good round of applause as well. Yeah, she's been desperate to use those buttons.
Cargill simply sits at the intersection, basically, which is what we're talking about then. Coupled with our agency theories are so large, they need other people in the chain to help them do what they do. And agency theory, for those who don't know, is a framework used in economics and finance and management. Basically, where you have one party hiring another party to perform a task or make decisions on your behalf. So the problem is that once you detach that, you get agency problems rising from different goals. And often the agent has their own agenda. They have more information about what they're actually doing, and conflicts of interest can arise. And the agency problem arises when the agent's interests basically don't align with the principal's interests. Yeah. And because of information asymmetry, which is basically not enough information flowing, the principal can't perfectly monitor the agent's behaviour. So even though you put in systems in place to try and do that, the agent that you've taken on to help you with it isn't always going to be fully truthful and transparent. So is Cargill a villain? And of course, it depends on who you ask. So I don't think they are, but it kind of all depends on perspective. Farmers who rely on global markets might say no. Communities affected by deforestation might say yes. Workers and activists may have one view, economists another view. Truth's more complicated. Cargill's both. It feeds the world and has been involved in practices that damage ecosystems and harm vulnerable communities. Not a cartoon villain. It's a reflection of a system we all participate in. Yeah.
And we benefited from.
Oh, we have, but built on scale, efficiency and consumption. We're consuming at the far end and they're providing it.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
If you're going to get what you're asked for, you can't then complain about how you got it.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to close this up. The story isn't finished because it's a work in progress.
Yes.
It always will be. Yep. They've made promises, big ones, to clean up the supply chains, reduce emissions, eliminate deforestation and support fair labour. Promises aren't guarantees, and as a company that large doesn't change unless the world around it changes too. Is it good or bad? Maybe it's what do we want a company that feeds the world to look like. But there aren't enough people who are bothered
I think
is
ultimately
the truth
you need to is the person doing it for bad reasons or for good reasons? That's the ultimate
Oh
question.
yeah, that's right.
And you're never going to know that because you don't live in someone else's head.
But if you remember, I started out with curiosity. Who is this company? What are they about? And that's what I was hoping to answer and hoping to basically inform people who listen to this.
Which you found out. You did find out who they are.
And actually, that's the truth of it. So I'm just delivering.
You've not made your mind up.
Not too much in the way of opinion, but it's a complex, highly complex. So anyone that really is globally aware and really bothered about ecosystems and provenance and that kind of thing, it's an intractable issue that can't be solved just by a few people protesting and saying, well, this isn't really fair.
No.
We've all got to change our behaviours.
But it's also such a big machine, dismantling it would be...
absolutely, yeah. And I wouldn't even want to do that. But yeah, so they've... Good and bad.
I understand the tension.
Yeah, but at least we all know about Cargill, and that's what I was hoping to do. So
next time I see a lorry...
Exactly, satisfying my own curiosity and passing it on.
See, curiosity did not kill a cat.
Depends where it lived.
Satisfaction brought it back. That's the actual saying.
That's your final word.
That's my final word. I'm going to close with that.
Right,
Satisfaction
brilliant.
brought the dead cat back.
And thanks for listening. Thanks for supporting us by downloading and listening to this episode.
And a massive thank you also to Donnie, Emily, Nat and Lewis and the BTD Studios for all your expertise in bringing our podcasting dream to reality.
We'd love it if you commented on this episode, as we'd really like to know what you think and what you might like us to cover in future episodes.
And we'll see you on the next one.